I'm Mr. Sensible, and it's good to see you all again. Today, we're going to look at someone who I did look at quite a while back, MultiTOmtOm. He's actually come up with a new theory about the sun and the moon. Plasma sun and moon. This should be interesting. Before we go into that though, a couple of things. Firstly, don't forget that this Saturday I've got a debate coming up with Right to the Hand. If I remember, I put a link in the description, and I might even put one up here. But either way, it's on my playlist, so you should be able to find it. Secondly, massive thanks to my amazing patrons. I really appreciate the support of my patrons. Some of my newer patrons, Chris Kelling and David Cooley, John Bunker, and the newest patron, Sky Wizardless. Thank you all very, very much. As ever guys, I appreciate the support, so thank you. So, MultiTOmtOm, tell us what you got.
The sun and the moon are made of plasma.
Well, knowing you, MultiTOmtOm, that's all the evidence we're likely to get, so shall we just stop there? You call it a theory, we call it fail, we all go home. Oh, you think you have got something? Better carry on then, mate.
So, what exactly is plasma?
Enlighten us, O wise one.
According to the OxfordLearnersDictionaries.com, it's a noun. Number 2, physics. A gas that contains approximately equal numbers of positive and negative electric charges and is present in the sun and most stars.
Okay, so from the definitions you found, it's something that's like a gas, roughly equal positive and negative charges, and present in the sun and most stars.
From thoughtco.com, the article entitled Plasma Definition in Chemistry and Physics. What you need to know about the fourth state of matter. And has a picture of a global. And the article is by Anne-Marie Helmenstein, PhD, so I'm sure she knows what she's talking about.
Well, I'm sure she knows more of what she's talking about than you or I. Definitely more than you.
Plasma definition. Plasma is a state of matter where the gas phase is energized until atomic electrons are no longer associated with any particular atomic nucleus. Plasmas are made up of positively charged ions and unbound electrons.
Okay, we got that, MultiTOmtOm. He carries on for a few minutes more, reading lots of big words from that page that he really doesn't understand. So let's whiz on a bit and get to the end of that.
Plasma may be produced by either heating a gas until it ionized or by subjecting it to a strong electromagnetic field.
The term plasma comes from a Greek word that means jelly or moldable material. Particles also mean plasma may be shaped or contained by electrical and magnetic fields.
Plasma is generally at a much lower pressure than a gas.
Well, thank goodness that's out of the way. You better come on and tell us your theory now.
The sun has a higher concentration of electromagnetic radiation combined with a high energy output.
Okay.
The sun and moon are in a symbiotic relationship.
What?
Where they both need each other.
Yes, I know what a symbiotic relationship is, but the sun and the moon?
The moon needs the sun to electromagnetically charge it, thus making it light up the night sky.
I've heard flat earthers claim that the moon gives off its own light before, but I've never heard anyone claim that it's like a rechargeable torch.
The sun needs the moon to repel its high energy output by absorbing most of its energy and radiation.
This is getting weirder, and I don't think you know what the word repel means. It certainly doesn't mean absorb.
Otherwise, without the moon, the sun would simply burn out.
You're proposing that the moon has some sort of damping effect on the sun to prevent it burning out. You do know the sun doesn't burn. There's no fire.
I believe the moon phases are caused by the constant charging and discharging of the solar electromagnetic radiation, causing the waxing and waning of the moon.
Now, come on, you're just pulling our plonkers. I mean, you do realise, first of all, the moon is in direct sunlight 100% of the time, aside from a few minutes it's eclipsed. So why should it suddenly happen to discharge once a month? And secondly, if it's going to discharge and not give off this light, wouldn't it just dim? Why would it get darker in a curve that just happens to match the lit stroke dark curve you get if you hold a ball up to the light? You are having a giraffe.
The moon is not a solid object,
Unlike your head, apparently.
nor does it reflect sunlight, as claimed in the heliocentric model.
Yes, it does reflect light, and that's shown by the fact when it moves into the Earth's shadow, it's no longer lit up.
The moon phases are simply an internal process.
Simply an internal process. I'm sure you're going to explain how that works.
Caused by the sun's magnetic force, which acts upon the moon.
Well, there's a good, well-founded and studied explanation for this internal process. Thank you for that.
It is simply the result of the moon charging and discharging of its electromagnetic energy or radiation.
And that's apparently based on reasons, waving your hands about and shouting woo.
Similarly, the lunar eclipse is not the shadows of the Earth falling on the moon, as claimed in the heliocentric model.
Go on then. What is it?
It is simply the resetting of the moon's electromagnetic properties or field.
You must have lost quite a bit of weight during this video, just purely based on the amount of stuff that you've pulled out of your butt.
This happens like clockwork in a cyclic manner. If you observe the sun and moon or any other heavenly bodies over a period of time, then one could predict its position and their movement across the sky.
You can calculate it with maths.
Everything in the sky is cyclic. All you have to do is observe it over a length of time. There are no planets. They do not exist.
Don't exist. Planets are some of the brightest objects in the night sky. And you can observe them and can predict where and when they'll appear. You can look at them directly with a telescope. Hell, you can look at Jupiter just with a pair of binoculars and you can see its moons orbiting.
There is no universe.
What?
And there is no heliocentric model. The Earth is enclosed and it is a container.
Right, stop that! Silly!
Finally, I just want to go back to the definition as stated in the Oxford Dictionary.
I thought you might. Okay, I've seen the video before.
Look at number 1, biology or medical. The clear liquid part of blood in which the blood cells, etc. float. This is a perfect analogy of the sun and moon floating in the ether.
MultiTOmtOm, I assume at your house you have some forks. What you need to do is get some corks from wine bottles and stick them on the end of the forks so you don't hurt yourself. What a bunch of utter... I can't even say. I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't know if anyone could actually enjoy that. Either way, I hope that you will join me again. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Just hit Mini-Me down in the corner. Until next time, stay sensible.
Shut up and sit down.